Okie dokie. All right, guys, how is everyone doing today out there in YouTube land and wherever you are today? I just wanted to come back on here and just talk to us. When the summertime comes around, we know that things start getting loud in the skies. Things start lighting up a lot, and many of us are not so comfortable with the loud noise and the rumbling and the sharp lights. So today I'm going to talk to you about my fear or my astrophobia, which is the fear of lightning and thunder. And just to talk to you about how it happened for me and why I think I feel so traumatized by it. I mean, traumatized, maybe that's a harsh word. Um, but I get very, very uncomfortable during the storms. I love, love, love the rainfall. I love the quiet rain. Um, but when it gets noisy and when the lightning strikes, then it scares me. Yesterday we had for 3 days straight we have been having rains and heavy thunderstorms here in my neck of the woods, and one of the things that comforts me is to be away from windows. So I love my hallway because I have the two walls there to just sit quietly. I also love my kitchen because the kitchen, we have an addition in the back, which is a bedroom, or, it's a bedroom, but it was built after the main house was built. So because of that, it kind of it shields the windows, and so during a storm, there's no sharp lightning coming through the windows there into the kitchen. Um, so how did this start for me? As a child, we're born as a blank slate. The things that we do throughout our lives are things that we learn along the way. And so for me, um, one of the things that drove my fear or created the fear in me was some of the stories that were told as a child, you know. Um, we have Granny sometimes will tell stories about how they heard that a guy was cursing and swearing all morning, or the person was disrespectful to his parent, his mom, and then he went to climb the breadfruit tree to pick breadfruit, and out of the clear blue sky, the lightning just came and hit him hard, killed him right there, knocked him out the tree. We hear of people taking oath and lightning, and then they say that lightning strikes them down. We hear of people like pastors when they're preaching and they want to use gloom and doom to get people to become baptized, because there's a difference with Christianity and there's a difference with just being baptized and being the member in a church. But they would use this fear tactic to tell people how they were talking to John Brown in the morning and asking him to come to church, and he refused. And the next week, they hear that lightning struck him and killed him or killed her. Um, so a lot of things that we hear, um, the stories that we hear, don't wear certain things during a thunderstorm. You cannot be under a tree during a thunderstorm. You shouldn't be the tallest person out there in an open field during a storm when there's lightning. Different objects will attract the lightning. I remember as a little girl, definitely, I remember I went in the house. Granny asked me to go get a needle. She was out in the kitchen, and I went in and picked, the door was open, the front door was right wide open, and I picked up the needle because the needle is a piece of metal and so shiny. The lightning struck, and I guarantee you it struck that needle in my hand. I was so frightened. And so these are little things that put fear in me when it comes to lightning. There are people who out there who talk about, oh, you're afraid for lightning, oh, um, because you're wicked, or because you do. No, lightning, it's a sharp light that just flashes unexpectedly. And because of that, that's what frightens me. And then the noise that follows it. Know that when our weatherman up here in my part of America talks about a thunderstorm coming, a storm watch, a storm warning, they always say to you, move away from windows. So for me, that means that it has to be dangerous to be next to a window during a storm. So that is the reason why in my home, I always find that safe place where I can sit quietly and wait out the storm. I don't need to be up in a window and doing all these things just to prove a point. To those of you who have no fear of it, that's fine. It's how you feel. Animals don't do bad things, and they get nervous when the light flashes and when the thunder rolls. A basic thunder roll is not bad, but it's that boom that comes when a sharp flash of lightning comes that sometimes makes it hard. Um, Even as a child, I would tell you, don't look in the mirror during a storm. You have to cover these things up. You have to, there are different myths that our old parents who had no really good knowledge of things, but they would tell you things and you live by them because those were your heroes when you were growing up. So whatever they say, you hold on to it. So as the storms come, as the summer comes, and we're getting more storms, Elsa just passed through with a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, a lot of rain. We're still experiencing it here. For the past 3 days, we have had a lot of rain, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. Today is Thursday, and it is July 8th. And last night, I was up because yesterday we had one storm early in the day. Then we had another storm around 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. Then, when I thought it was all over, everybody in my house was sleeping. I couldn't sleep because all through the night until 3:30 this morning, there were these big bursts of lightning and thunder rolling. So I was just up, watching videos quietly. I did go into my bed. I was in my bed, and yes, there's a big window by my bed, and I have the vertical blinds and plus the drapes there. So I have gotten to the point where I can deal with some of it, but to be out there in it, no. To be at a window looking at it, no. I don't like it flashing into my space because it frightens me. But with the drapes and the blinds, I noticed that it wasn't, I could see it over the top of the rod, the curtain rod, but it wasn't coming directly in. So I sat up in bed and I watched some videos and just was very quiet until about 3:30 I went to sleep. But that's just me. I don't know how you deal with your storms, but um if you have some ways there that you want to share, then please go ahead and share it, because that's how we grow, that's how we support one another. What works for you might not work for me, but what you know might help somebody else. So talk to me in the comments and tell me how you deal with astrophobia, which is the fear of lightning and thunder. Yes, it's a big word, astrophobia. Astraphobia. So, again, none of us are perfect. Being afraid of bright lights, flashes of lights that you didn't expect, it's no shame. But learning to, learning to deal with it can help. because it's not at all times that you're going to be in a safe place. Like now, this summer, I'm at home, I'm in a safe place. But when I have to be outside, if I'm traveling, then I have to get out of the car to get to the house. And that's going to be a nerve wracking moment because I'm always afraid that by the time I put the key in the doorknob, the lightning is going to flash. But in all things, we find some way to be thankful, to be grateful, to continue love, care, respect, listen to each other as we go forward. Again, if you can't be good, be careful, but walk good as we continue to trod onward and upward. Take care, guys.